In every school, there's a variety of different team meetings, from leadership team meetings to staff meetings to P&C meetings. In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at teaching team meetings. A great number of extraordinary school leaders have commented on the importance of teaching team meetings. But the standout amongst these has to be John Hattie, who said, "Accomplishing the maximum impact on student learning depends on teams of teachers working together." And this is exactly what happens inside a high-performance teaching team meeting.
The resource that you'd have on hand is the Teaching Team Forum Meeting Quick Start, as it contains some templates and fully worked examples that are specifically relevant to teaching team meetings.
As we move through this module, you'll see how the documents that we create for KPI2 performance reporting form a critical part of your team's data wall and the road to success.
In many workplaces, meetings can be torturous, but it doesn't have to be this way. When high-performance teams meet, they adhere to 5 factors that help to make sure they always make the most out of meetings. The first 4 factors refer to meeting context, and the last refers to the meeting's process.
Firstly, thinking about context, when high-performance teams meet, they always know why they're meeting and make sure that they have the right people in the room. They know whether the outcomes of their meetings are related to governance or management decisions, base their decisions on up-to-date lead indicators, and they make sure that they're not over or under meeting.
The last factor relates to meeting processes.
Before we look at these, let's consider the pre-work that's required for running a successful high-performance teaching teams meeting.
For most things in life, you get out what you put in, and teaching team meetings are no exception. To get the most out of your teaching team meeting, it's best to prepare. And one of the best ways that many teachers find to prepare for their teaching team meeting is by completing the Teacher Update tool. This can be found inside your Teaching Team Forum Meeting Quick Start Guide. Let's take a look now.
Starting at the top of the Update tool, we can see that there are spaces to capture our name, the current date, and our current mood state. We'll see how this is used in the meeting later in this video. As we move down the Update tool, we can see that there's a section that's dedicated to capturing what's going on inside the classroom, specifically our major successes and challenges. To complete this section, simply describe the successes and challenges that you're facing, the impact that these are having, and the actions that you're going to take as a result. As we move down, you'll encounter the next section of the Update tool, where you're invited to reflect upon your work life and well-being. Here, note down the areas that are on track as well as those that may need some further attention. Moving on, we have the Personal Hot Issues section. Here, note down any operational or day-to-day issues that you'd like to share with the group with a view to finding some next steps for resolution. Remember, include any risks or impacts associated with the issue and any ideas that you have to advance the issue. Following this is the Priority Students in Focus section. Here, make a note of the student's name, the areas of concern, and any forward strategies. The last section of the Update tool is the Deep Dive Register, designed to capture issues of strategic importance. Here, we provide a brief description of the issue, pose the key challenge or question to consider, provide details of why the issue is of strategic importance, and outline any possible solutions and related risks. Once you've completed your Teacher Update tool, you're ready and primed for the meeting.
Let's have a closer look now at a HPT meeting agenda so we can see the special recipe that lies behind these processes to ensure that every high-performance team meeting is inclusive, supportive, proactive, strategic, and accountable. From the outset, high-performance team meetings are set up to be supportive and inclusive from the first few items in the welcome and the warm-up. During this time, the meeting chair restates the purpose for the meeting and how it fits into the organisation's bigger mission and goals.
Here you can see a real-life example from Kincora State School. Rounding out the welcome, the chair should reiterate the key meeting ground rules, including openness and trust, balanced debate, competency over role, issues over personalities, and accountability and clear outcomes. The special role of meeting moderator helps the chair keep track of time and team dynamics. The moderator helps to keep the meeting on track through use of the red and yellow cards. The yellow card is issued as a caution to remind the group to get back on track, and the red card is issued to stop the room. Good moderators use a loud timer to help signal to the chair when it's time to move on from an item. If the chair feels that more time is needed for any item, they can overrule the moderator and reset the clock. Once a moderator has been assigned, everyone then completes their one-word barometer, which is, one by one, each team member speaks out how they're feeling right now in the moment. This helps for two reasons. Firstly, it allows people to sit back and reflect on what emotion they're bringing into the meeting. And secondly, it allows everyone in the meeting to put other people in their context. The final thing that everyone does before the meeting gets underway is to articulate the biggest successes and challenges that they pre-recorded on their teacher update tool.
The next item on our agenda is hot issues.
Hot issues is a time-limited process that allows team members to raise and ventilate their issues or concerns and devise possible next steps. The first step in the process is to have pairs or groups of 3 write down the issues that are on their minds, either on a whiteboard or butcher's paper. Next, allow the group to vote for the hot issue that will be discussed by giving each group member 5 votes to place next to the item or items that they think are most important. Once voting has concluded, invite the group member whose issue was voted as number 1 to the front of the room to expand on their issue. Following this, invite the group to clarify the issue by asking questions that can be answered in a short sentence or in a yes or no format. Next, the group is to engage in a short solution-focused discussion, seeking to find next steps. Finally, the person who originally raised the issue that was discussed is invited to address the group and provide a summary of the discussion and any takeaways.
Following on from hot issues, we start to get strategic by focusing on our action plan updates and senior leaders briefing.
At this point of the meeting, we have a few different options of how we can use our time. We can check in against and make any updates to our team data wall. We can provide updates on our team action plans, review our team wellbeing pulse data, or we can highlight and discuss any interesting trends from our team lead indicator dashboards. Finally, we can include time for the senior leaders briefing.
This time is for the senior leader to use however they wish. They may like to expand upon an item that was previously brought up in hot issues, or they may like to bring in some new information that they need to update the team on. Having this item in the middle of the meeting allows the leader flexibility to use the time for the best strategic advantage. Following this, we move into our PD intensive cycle, where the group can choose to engage in either a deep dive, the council peer mentoring process, or a quality teaching spotlight. Option 1 for your PD intensive cycle is the deep dive strategic inquiry process.
Within a deep dive, team members use a structured process to discuss key team issues and opportunities that are on the horizon. On screen now, you can see an example deep dive preparation worksheet so that you can see how the deep dive process helps teams to stretch their strategic thinking muscles. The key to holding a successful deep dive is in the preparation. If you'd like to learn more about how to prepare and run a deep dive, we've created a separate specialized video just for this topic.
Option 2 for your PD intensive cycle is the council peer mentoring process.
The council process provides a confidential space for group members to gain new insights about their important issues. Importantly, every group member must participate. The following example is based on a group of 4. The first step of the process is to choose one group member who will be the petitioner. They have 1 minute to outline their issue in detail to the council. In step 2, the council has 1 minute to pose questions to the petitioner to better understand their issue. The Council then has 4 minutes to discuss the petitioner's issue. During this time, the petitioner doesn't take part in the discussion and is to break eye contact with the group. If there's a lull in the discussion, the group needs to sit in silence until the 4 minutes has elapsed. Finally, the petitioner is allocated 1 minute where they rejoin the group to provide their summary of the discussion and takeaway actions or next steps. The process then restarts with a new petitioner. The Council works best with groups of 4. However, it can work with groups of 3 or 5 participants by adjusting the time allocated for each cycle to ensure that the entire activity fits within its allocated 30 minutes.
Our final option for the PD intensive cycle is the Quality Teaching Spotlight.
The Quality Teaching Spotlight is another structured, time-restricted exercise that helps participants gain knowledge and skills on instructional strategies that are aligned with school targets and student needs. You can see an example Quality Teaching Spotlight prep sheet on the screen now. During the first 3 minutes of the exercise, the activity leader engages the group by highlighting the knowledge and skills that the students need within a particular target area. The next 7 minutes is dedicated to unpacking the broad-based knowledge and skills that teachers need to address the target area. This can be done through exemplars, videos, or demonstrations. The next 8 minutes is dedicated to a broad-based discussion of the exemplars and key concepts. This is then rounded out with smaller pair or triad discussions on how to apply the concepts within class and individual goal setting.
If you'd like more information about the Quality Teaching Spotlight, take a look at the worked example inside the Teaching Team Forum Meeting Quick Start. Regardless of which PD intensive option your team chooses, when you come to the end of the cycle, it's time to bring your meeting to a close. Each member of the team provides their checkout one-word barometer and takeaway action. Following this, the moderator provides feedback on team dynamics and new roles for the next meeting are assigned. Finally, any live notes are ratified so that they can be sent out immediately. By having clear meeting processes, protocols and agendas, having solid ground rules and specialised roles like meeting moderators, you can turn your meetings
into high-performance meetings where every teacher will feel both supported and challenged to be their very best in delivering quality teaching and learning.